Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. You might have noticed I've been a bit MIA recently. I think the last time I put up a video was in November before my birthday. Not quite sure what happened there, but I've been very busy with my work and I've also been doing some preparation for something else which I'll talk to you about a bit later on. But for my first video back, I thought it would be nice to show you some of the stuff that I got for my birthday and for Christmas, and a few other bits and bobs that I bought in between. So my two main things for my birthday were portable painter. I've been wanting one of these for ages. I'm sure you've all seen them on other artists' YouTube channels. So I'm very excited to have one of my own now. I haven't yet set this up because I've been so busy, so I will do that on camera another day, and I'm thinking of putting some gouache in there because I got myself some Holbein gouache, the little set of 5, and I am loving it, so I'd like to try pouring it into some pans and seeing how it dries and how it works out of the pans. And of course there's 12 spaces, so I'll also probably put some watercolors in the other ones. And yes, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to trying this, and especially as spring comes around I'll be able to go out and about and do some art. Bit too cold at the moment though over here in the UK. And then my other present was the HP Sprocket. I've been wanting to get into journaling for quite a while now, so I really like the look of this gadget. You're able to print photos straight from your phone or whatever device, and there's no ink inside it. The paper that you use is called zinc paper and it's zero ink technology, so it's basically a thermal process, and all you need to do is replace the paper. But the paper is quite expensive, so I won't be using this all the time. It's more of a sort of gadget for when I go away, for a weekend or on holiday, so I can take it with me, print out a picture each day and pop it in my journal. So that will be nice to use. I had a few supplies of my own. I had a cutter, and a few other bits and bobs, because when I was at university about 10 years ago, I actually did fine art, and in the first year we tried all of the different specialisms, so that was printmaking, ceramics, painting and sculpture. So I already had a few cutters and things from that. In the end I specialised in sculpture, but I really enjoyed printmaking, and in some ways I wish I had done printmaking instead of sculpture, but it's something I can do at home now, and so I decided to get a few items. I got some lino, I got a few colours of heavy body acrylic and some block printing medium so that I could mix my existing acrylics with that to make printmaking ink. And then the other thing I treated myself to was this. It's actually a stopper for the lino, so when you're carving you can hold the lino nice and secure and carve into it. So that is my printmaking supplies that I got. And for an inking tray I decided to use, it's like a lid to a tray that I got in IKEA, and it's basically a plain white tray, smooth, and it's got a little lip around it so that it's all contained, but it's nice and smooth and it's easy to use for ink. And here is the print that I made from the lino you just saw. It was based on a story that I had read, so I've just been sort of getting used to doing it again and getting used to how the block printing medium works with the acrylic and the overall effects. So I'm hoping next time it will be a bit more successful. So on to a few Christmas bits. So for Christmas I got this lovely book about whittling, a simple guide to whittling, and basically what whittling is woodworking by hand using a knife. Just trying to find a picture, there we go. So basically holding a knife in your hands, you whittle away the wood. So this is something I've wanted to try for a while. So I requested a few items for Christmas. The ones that I got for Christmas are, this is the whittling knife. And I've also got a smaller detail knife, and just look how beautiful that wood is. I hope the colours are showing up on this camera because it's a dark day outside and I've got my daylight lamp on to try and get some good light. But I just love the colours in that. And as an example of the kind of thing that I've been doing, this is my first ever attempt at whittling. It's not finished yet. I'm basically just trying to make a spiral coming down, and I've just been sort of experimenting with the techniques and so forth on this. It's easier than you'd think, as long as you're using the right kind of wood and you're being very careful and using proper techniques to do the carving. Of course it is dangerous. Anything when you're using, you know, tools and knives is going to be dangerous. I do have some gloves that I wear when I'm doing it. But yeah, so far I'm really pleased with my progress. And another of my Christmas presents was this colour mixing Bible. I've wanted this for a while now, and it is a fantastic book. Basically it has colour mixes in it for, well, information all about colours and mixing, colour theory, and then when you get onto the sections of the book, you've got mixing guides for all types of colours and all types of mediums. So you've got oils here. It goes through how to mix all the different, you know, blues, yellows, reds and so forth. You've got acrylic mixing, you've got watercolours, you've got gouache, soft pastels and even pencils. So this is going to be really useful for helping me to improve on colour theory, brush up on things that I knew before but maybe forgotten, and just a way of figuring out how to make colours quickly and easily and successfully. I've been continuing to collect handmade watercolours. I bought a nice big tin from Sea of Grass, and inside this tin was a plastic mould with 12 pans inside it, and pans rather than the liquid watercolours I bought last time, the tube one. And I wanted this tin because I knew it would be perfect for my entire collection. So opening this up, you'll see that I've managed to fit quite a lot in there. And these, as I say, are all my handmade paints that I've bought. So we've got some here from Penholder Art. We've got Jasper Stardust ones there. These are the ones from Sea of Grass here. And then we have these ones here are my Peppercorn Arts, and then we have a nice mix of Prush watercolours and eventually everything mixes watercolours. And I've tried to put the biggest and widest selection in here. And the way that I've been fixing them in is using magnets. So I've got these really strong magnets that I've super glued onto the bottom of the pan, and that keeps them all really nicely in place. But I have had some new colours recently, so I haven't put the magnets on the bottom of those yet, so I need to do that. But I am so pleased with all of these so far, and I've actually outgrown the tin already, because if I open here you can see I've got a few extras in here that I couldn't fit in here. So I've got my metallics, I've got a few samples and a few colours that I couldn't fit in there. And trying to choose which ones to put in the overflow one rather than in my main collection was quite difficult, even though it doesn't really matter because I'm at home most of the time anyway, and I can have as many palettes as I want around me when I'm painting. But I love this idea of having all of my best and favourite handmade watercolours in the one tin. So that's what I've tried to achieve here, all my favourites, and as many as I could fit in. So I'm really chuffed with that so far, and I'm so impressed with them all. I can't recommend these sellers enough, and just anyone who makes handmade watercolours. It's just amazing quality, really unique colours, and I am absolutely loving using them. So now I'm going to move on to a few things that I've just bought recently. I've been trying out a few of my pastel pencils recently. I've had them for quite a while, but I don't really use pastel pencils that much. So I've been exploring, techniques with those. And so I bought myself a new pack of these tortillas. Basically compressed paper rolls, because these are ideal for blending. It's very much like this in design, but I need a new one. So when I saw this one, I thought I would just try it to see what it's like and if it compares to the Derwent one. Is it Derwent or is it Faber-Castell? I can't remember if it's Derwent or Faber-Castell, but anyway, I thought I'd get this to try and see what it's like. There's not much of a difference in price, I was just curious. And then I've got this tiny little watercolour set. Now, I wasn't looking to get this specifically, it just happened to be in the online shop where I was buying the other items, and I saw it and it looked really cute, and it was only £6.95, I think. So even if I just bought that and had to pay the postage, it would be under £10. And the casing and the inside didn't really look to me like any of the cheap watercolours that I've tried before, so I wanted to get them to see what they're like, because that's a fantastic price. So you open it up, and it's got a little protective thing there, but it's got quite a nice little divided lid there, so you've got 5 spaces for mixing. You've got pans that kind of, let's have a look. So it's just one long rectangle of space that the pans kind of slot into. The pans feel quite thin, so I don't know if I'd fit my thicker pans in here, but of course I'll try that when I'll do another video on these, looking at them and trying them out and stuff. But it also comes with a cute brush, which reminds me a bit of the brush in the portable painter, although this one is just a single brush rather than a double-ended one. And you open it up and pop it in like that, and the brush actually looks okay, unlike some of the brushes that come with the cheap sets, for example the Tiger set that I reviewed a while ago. This one actually looks good, so if the paints are also good, then I'll be really impressed. Prismacolor pencils quite a lot recently, so especially the white one for blending, so I got a couple of and I also got a Caran d'Ache Luminance one, because this one is supposed to be more opaque than the Polychromos white, so I thought I'd get that to try using with those. But I was so tempted by the Luminance that I decided to treat myself to a pack of 12 of the Caran d'Ache Luminance, and you open them up. Decent price, and I'm really looking forward to trying these with the colour pencils. And I've been really trying to improve my techniques recently. I've been using my pencils a lot, I've been using my alcohol markers, and I've been using watercolours and gouache. And I've been trying mixed media as well, because I'm really trying my hardest to broaden my skills and my uses of my art supplies, and trying to find that kind of niche or that kind of style that really speaks to me. And the reason why I've been focusing so much on practicing and discovering techniques and so forth is because I am going to do an MA. So after a lot of thought and a lot of research, I actually decided I wanted to try and kind of find a niche for my illustration, and to, really hone in on skills and learn more about illustration and art. And so I decided to do an MA. The MA I'm going to be doing is an MA in illustration, in visual communication. I've been buying some books. This one is on the reading list for my MA. The MA is with the University of Hertfordshire, and it's delivered by the Interactive Design Institute. So this was one of the ones that was high up on the reading list, and it's a really good book. It's Illustration, A Theoretical and Contextual Perspective by Alan Mayle. And I enjoyed this book so much that I also looked up Alan Mayle's other book, which is Illustration Meeting the Brief. I'll be reading this one after I've finished this one. I'm right near the end of this one now. I've just reached the section on editorial illustration, which is one of the ones that really interests me. So I'm really excited to read that section and to start the new book. So yeah, basically that's one of the reasons why I haven't been around. I've been, as well as working really hard at my day job, I've also been doing a lot of reading and kind of generally preparing myself to do this MA. Making journals. Now, you've probably seen these on my Instagram if you are following me on there, but I have been slowly adding journals, handmade journals, to my Etsy shop. So what I have been doing is combining my love of making handmade journals with my pattern design work. So my illustrative work that goes into pattern design, I wanted to use those as book covers. So that kind of resulted in these sorts of projects. So for example, this one is a faux leather. It's a grey faux leather with contrasting stitching. You open it up, it's like a Midori style, traveller's notebook style, and each one is different because I just go with the flow and I kind of let the design speak to me. So these two are already up in my shop, and I think this one is as well. So we've got a black one here, with some nice neon highlights, and also we've got some gold corners on this one. This is real leather. This is really thick leather, and then inside we continue the neon theme. This is another one of my pattern designs that I've just put onto various neon card to make the journals inside. And what I've made the journals out of, obviously there's 3 books in each one. One has plain paper in it, another one has, what's it called? Fabriano sketch paper. One book has plain paper in it, and the other 2 books have one has Fabriano sketch paper in it, and the other one has watercolour paper in it. So I've tried to make it as diverse as possible for people who just want to journal, or artists who want to use them as sketchbooks. And as you can see, my imagination went a bit wild on this one. I was using up some scraps, so I needed to be creative with how I sewed them together to use them. These are really soft leathers in bright colours, so I've used coordinating threads. There's a leather pen loop inside this one. Again, I've been creative with my scraps of leather to make little pockets, and then you've got some of my pattern designs on the books. And I believe all of these are up in the shop, but I've got more to add, so hopefully I'll find the time to add some more soon. But yeah, so this has been a bit of a mishmash of a video, but I hope you enjoyed seeing a haul of things that I've collected. It's the kind of video that I love to watch, and I didn't get around to making a Christmas haul or a birthday haul, so here we are, I've done it now. But yeah, I'm really excited to be back. Sorry I went MIA, but I hope you are looking forward to seeing more videos of these supplies and hearing more about my MA and the process of that. So yeah, see you for now.